Welcome to FundMe.cash, a website that interacts with a crowdfunding contract on Bitcoin Cash. I go by Sayoshi Nakamario, and I'm looking to raise 100 BCH on FundMe.
And what's that for?
That's for back pay for building FundMe and all the learning I've been doing for the last few years. Running FundMe for a year, even if it doesn't do anything. Making tutorial videos from start to finish on how to build an app like FundMe or Badgers.cash or other things in the works.
On Cash tokens.
On Cash tokens. And from start to finish, I mean, we're going to install VS Code from scratch and go up from there. Because that's basically where I started.
So for dumbasses.
Yeah. As an example, Eat the Blocks videos on YouTube for Solidity tutorials. Those are the types of things I want to do. I also want to expand FundMe and Cash Starter still. Things like adding archival features so that you can vote against campaigns on whether you believe it accomplishes goals or not. I'd also want to look into doing different Cash Starter contract modules or styles. Things that allow you to maybe pick which stretch goal you're funding, or allowing auto refunds if the campaign or specific stretch goal doesn't get funded. These are the main things this funding will allow me to build. It's not the only things, and I've been building and learning for the past 3 years, roughly. And I appreciate any support.
Who are you?
Sayoshi Nakamario.
What do you do?
Right now, attempt to learn cash tokens and smart contracts on BCH and obsess over BCH in general.
What have you done?
I've built Badgers.cash.
What else?
HelpMe.cash.
What else?
HelpYou.cash, which isn't public.
What else?
Fog
Fog of War.
Okay, yeah, okay. We're dredging up the old memories now. Fog of War.quest on Smart BCH.
And FundMe.
And FundMe, yes. Nothing's massively exploded yet.
And technically, the oh-so-casual.
Yeah, casual BCH is a thing. It releases very casually, and casual is, ill-defined. Besides that, I have just over a decade's worth of IT experience doing servers and networking. Not much coding during that time, just like PowerShell editing and little stuff like that. Coding didn't really happen until the last couple of years with BCH.
So how is this different from Flipstada?
FundMe doesn't require you to host a server for the website. It's using a smart contract on Bitcoin Cash to handle all the BCH funds. The FundMe front end website itself is just displaying what the contract has on it and the metadata in terms of like your description and images for your campaign. So it's much easier to launch a FundMe using a website like this or an app that decides to integrate it, where you just toss in your data, toss in an image, how much you want, and hit go. So there is a difference with FundMe as well in terms that there is a fee.
Oh?
To launch a FundMe costs 0.01 BCH, or at least that's the maximum. So on the FundMe website, that's how much it'll cost to create one, which will launch it on the smart contract. To claim it, if it's successful, so you reach your pledge goal, it'll cost 1.5% of the total raised funds. So the Cash Starter contract itself has limits on the creation fee and the claiming fee. So the creation fee is 0.01 BCH. That's the maximum, so it can be lower than that. The claiming fee is 5% maximum. So FundMe is 1.5%. But in theory, a service could come out that charges 5%. And typical crowdfunding platforms, Kickstarter, GoFundMe, range anywhere from minimum 3% plus extra fees up to like 8%. It seems like most of them are like around that 8% mark is kind of typical. So again, to answer the question, Flipstarter requires more work to get it going unless you just pay somebody to host it for you. If FundMe or a Cash Starter became used quite a bit, there could potentially be multiple websites and apps all pointing to the same contracts and showing the same campaigns. So it's not just a single server you're looking at that you need to rely on. It could be distributed. Just to throw it out there as a hypothetical, you could launch a FundMe on FundMe.cash, and it also shows up on Paytaka and Celine and Zappits and website 123, all going to the same campaign.
How is it different when a user pledges to FundMe versus Flipstarter?
So Flipstarter, and I'm no expert on Flipstarter, my understanding is basically kind of like a big multi-sig transaction. So the money never leaves your wallet on Flipstarter. You just sign to allow it to be taken, assuming it meets the goal. So if a Flipstarter meets its goal, the BCH will be then taken out of your wallet by whoever created the Flipstarter.
And you can use any wallet?
You have to use the Electron Cash plugin, I believe. So FundMe is much different. When you pledge to a campaign, the BCH leaves your wallet. It goes into the smart contract, and that's where it is. But you still have control of those, the BCH that you put in the smart contract. So you get a pledge NFT back when you pledge. That NFT allows you to cancel your pledge and take your BCH back out of the smart contract. And you're the only one that can do that. Whoever controls that pledge NFT controls the pledge. So FundMe has no control over your funds. You're the one sending it into the smart contract. You're the one that's leaving it there or refunding it. It is still under your control up to the point that the campaign creator claims it.
So if you burn your NFT, you fuck yourself.
Pretty much.
Why do you believe the tutorial videos are needed?
Because I really needed them when I was building this. I don't consider myself a developer with lots of experience or anything, so I've only been coding for a couple of years. But you need to know a lot of the basic information to be developing for cash tokens still. There's not really I barely know how to code, where's an example showing me from start to finish how to do this. The tooling has got gigantically better while I've been looking at this over the last year and a half, and it's going to keep getting better. But I think the ecosystem would benefit gigantically from having some more tutorials, especially starting at the lower level to attract new developers. And even, Solidity developers can also look at something like this, skip over the easy stuff, and just focus on the how does Wallet Connect integration work, and how do I build transactions on the front end, and because that's all different for EVM. It's much simpler on that side. So having these types of examples for people to jump into, I think would be a huge benefit.
What inspired you to create a decentralized crowdfunding contract?
I felt it was important for the BCH ecosystem to have a easy, simple to use crowdfunding app. Flipstarter is a lot better than a lot of other chains have, but everything can always be better. FundMe could be much better, and it felt like a good starting point to learn cash tokens and how to do smart contracts on BCH. So I just kind of joined the two together. And at the end of the day, I would like to keep working in the space. And I did run a Flipstarter that I ended up canceling due to technical issues. And so why not build your own smart contract decentralized crowdfunding app and run your own crowdfund on it? That's the simple way to do it, right? I never do things a simple way.
What do you see FundMe being in the future?
My hope is that FundMe, or even just the Cash Starter contract by itself, maybe somebody else comes out with different implementations. But my hope would be that FundMe is holding crowdfunding on BCH to a higher standard, where it is easy to create a campaign. There are a lot of options for creating the campaign. Maybe there's different styles of campaigns you can create. Hopefully there's a lot of accountability also built into it for campaign creators. So flipwatch.org was kind of it. That's actually something I helped build as well, trying to gather Flipstarters and hold people's feet to the fire of their promises for their campaigns. So hopefully it's harder to scam people and run away with all the money.
What happens if your FundMe doesn't get funded?
The Cash Starter contracts are open source, so they'll still be there. FundMe, we will keep up and running, at least for a while. If it's not making money and it's taking resources, it's not going to make sense to keep it going long term. If I'm not making money, because everybody needs money to live, I'm not going to expand out the contracts most likely. That's why there's a fee structure built into FundMe. is to try and make this sustainable. And if it's not sustainable, inevitably I need to focus on other things. So I'd like to work on it, and I'd like it to be sustainable. We'll see what happens, but that's the reality.
Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed.